I've always been on the heavy side. Not obese, mind you, but definitely not slim either. I blame it on slow metabolism and my love of cooking. My dream is to become a professional chef, and my specialties are anything heavy with carbohydrates or sugar. Of course, being chubby definitely has its downsides. In a society where women are expected to be thin, I've gotten endless snide remarks from classmates, teachers, salespeople at clothing stores, and even strangers on the street. Most of the time, I just fire back with an equally scathing insult, or simply give them my meanest glare and walk away. Sometimes, however, when someone goes the extra mile to be extra cruel, I'll bring out the big guns. Donna learned that the hard way. My single father met her when I was 14, and they quickly fell in love. Donna was divorced, and had two sons, Wyatt and Milo, aged 12 and 13, respectively. The boys were both pretty good kids, and I considered that a small miracle, given the woman who had brought them into the world. Donna was a massive bitch. Shrewish, entitled, and superficial, with a stick-up her ass the size of Australia. She made my life unbearable. Her whiny voice gave me massive headaches, and it bothered me how overbearing she was to her children. But most of all, I hated her comments about my weight. It seemed Donna hated fat people. She hated a lot of people, it seemed: Catholics, Jews, Muslims, Asians, blacks, homosexuals, Hispanics, interracial couples, but fat people were near the top of the list. Never once did Donna pass up a chance to berate or belittle me for my size. "I think you should get rid of those jeans," she would say. "They only accentuate your thick thighs." Or, "Are those chips you're eating? Jesus, Katie, you're already fat enough. Why don't you try a salad for a change?" Or, "Oh, Katie, you'd be so beautiful if you could just lose a few pounds." Or, "Good God, girl. Your stomach is bigger than your breasts. What a disgrace." You get the idea. Donna was smart enough to avoid insulting me in front of Dad, but every now and then, she would slip up. When that happened, Dad would tell her to back off, but leave it at that. He was a passive guy, the kind who preferred not to make waves. Donna knew this, and it gave her the idea that she could get away with anything. Naturally, the constant mockery did quite the number on my self-esteem. Before, I had generally been accepting of my body, flaws and all. Now, whenever I looked in the mirror, all I saw was a fat, ugly girl. I saw someone weak, someone who lacked self-control, and had let herself become so unsightly. I hated Donna, with her svelte frame and totally flat stomach. I knew I shouldn't let her get to me. But when you're a teenage girl, all it takes is one person to destroy your self-esteem. A year passed. I turned 15, and Dad proposed to Donna. I met a boy named Eric, and we started dating. In spite of my weight, I've never had trouble attracting boys. I guess I'm lucky I have a pretty face. Anyway, after we'd been together for about 2 weeks, I brought Eric home to meet my family. Dad and Donna were both there, as well as Wyatt and Milo. I made spaghetti bolognese, Caesar salad, and tiramisu for dessert. Donna greeted Eric politely, and the dinner was delicious. It wasn't until I served the tiramisu that things went sour. "Make sure you serve yourself a small piece, Katie," said Donna, in a voice as sickly sweet as cough syrup. "You don't want to add extra pounds to your hips." I don't think Eric would like that very much. The shocked silence that followed was the most painful of my life. I just stood there, serving platter in my hands, my mouth hanging open. Dad, who'd already drank 3 glasses of wine, snorted and swatted on his arm playfully. Wyatt and Milo just stared down at their plates, and Eric looked like he didn't know whether to leave the table or pass out from embarrassment. Donna just smirked and took a sip of wine. I knew she had planned this all along, and in that moment, I hated her more than I'd ever hated anyone in my life. That night, I sobbed into my pillow, so humiliated I just wanted to die. I was convinced Eric would never speak to me again. Worse, Dad and Donna would be getting married soon, making that bitch officially a part of the family. I couldn't let Donna get away with this. I had to do something. I had to return the humiliation, the cruelty, tenfold, so that Donna would never make fun of my weight again. By the time the sun rose, chasing away the shadows and lighting up the sky with brilliant shades of red and pink, I had come to a decision. I knew what I had to do. It couldn't happen right away, of course. I had to wait a few months, until Dad and Donna got married. They had chosen Mexico as their honeymoon destination. Donna may have looked down on the country's people, but the thought of spending 2 weeks in paradise was appealing to her nonetheless. "Make sure you take care of the house," Donna told me before she and Dad left. "Oh, and please try to lose some weight while we're gone." "No problem," I said, smiling. At the end of the first week, everything was ready. The pills I'd ordered off the black market had arrived, and were safely hidden away in the pockets of an old coat I never wore. Now, all I had to do was wait. On the day Dad and Donna were due to fly back to Canada, I baked cookies, chocolate chip for Dad, oatmeal raisin for Donna. I dropped 4 little white pills into the oatmeal raisin batter, then presented the cookies to my parents when they got home. Donna, freshly tanned with golden highlights in her long brown hair, pursed her lips disapprovingly. "I see you haven't lost weight." I shrugged it off and handed her a cookie. "It's a new recipe," I said. "I want you to test it." She took a bite, and smiled. "These are very good, Katie. Still, that doesn't excuse your lack of self-control." Now, said Dad. I wished he'd say, "Don't you dare talk to my daughter like that, you bitch," but I knew he wouldn't. He loved Donna too much. It wasn't long before Donna began to lose weight. At first, it wasn't even noticeable. But since Donna was already very slender, there were only so many pounds she could shed before it became obvious. She was also having stomach cramps, and her mystery illness had her so preoccupied that she forgot to make fun of my weight. I would slip the pills into her food whenever I had a chance. In total, I had 200 of those little white capsules, but I didn't intend to use all of them. My goal wasn't to kill Donna, afar all, I just wanted to teach her a lesson. After a month, Donna had become a shriveled husk of a woman. Eyes that had retreated an inch into their sockets, cheekbones that bulged against the skin, a xylophone of protruding ribs, twig-like arms and legs. She was in constant pain, and had made an appointment with a gastroenterologist. My conscience had begun to creep back, and I decided it was time to stop. My revenge had gone on far enough, but I couldn't resist slipping one last pill into her oatmeal one morning. When I came home from school that afternoon, I found Donna lying on the couch, curled up under a blanket, a damp cloth draped across her sweaty forehead. "Ugh," she groaned. "I feel terrible, Katie." "I'm sorry to hear that, Donna. I hope this doctor can find out what's wrong with me. If I get any skinnier, I'll blow away in the wind. Can I make you some tea?" "That would be wonderful, honey. Add whole milk." She gave a strained smile. "Maybe I should start eating like you. It might help me gain some weight." I waited until she'd rolled over before flipping her off and heading into the kitchen. While I waited for the water to boil, Donna dragged herself off the couch and stumbled to the bathroom. Exactly 4 minutes and 20 seconds later, I heard her scream. It was the scream of a dying woman, of someone being gutted alive. Another shriek shredded the air as I ran down the hall and threw myself against the locked bathroom door. "Donna!" I yelled. "What's the matter?" "Worms," she wailed. "Oh, Jesus, oh, my God. Worms. Oh, God, I'm dying." I grabbed a butter knife from the kitchen and forced the door open. Donna stood over the toilet, her sweatpants crumpled around her ankles. Her bony legs shook as she stared in horror at the long, segmented white worms dangling between her thighs. "Holy shit!" I exclaimed. Donna screeched and began to pull at the vile parasites. A couple of them split in two, and the severed halves hit the tiled floor with a grotesque splat. Poor Donna was practically hyperventilating by this point. She shoved past me and headed for the phone, the worms trailing behind her like streamers. They looked an awful like linguine noodles. Weak from sickness and her own terror, Donna collapsed before she could make it to the phone. Her head bounced off the marble counter, and she hit the floor hard, streaming blood everywhere. I wrapped the wound with a dish towel and dialed 911. "Come quick," I pleaded. "She's in bad shape." When the ambulance arrived, I put on a show of being genuinely concerned. One of the paramedics took one look at the worms and vomited into the sink. They loaded Donna onto a stretcher, carried her to the vehicle, and sped off, sirens screaming. I watched the ambulance disappear around a corner, burning rubber on the way to the hospital. And I let a malicious smile creep slowly across my face. Donna believed she'd contracted the tapeworms in Mexico. "Those fools don't know anything about food safety." She spat. "I doubt the cooks even wash their hands before going into work." The Mexico theory seemed most likely, so the doctors didn't question it. They simply prescribed Donna some antiparasitic drugs, stitched up her head, and sent her home after a night of observation. I flushed the remainder of the pills down the toilet. Donna made a full recovery. She was still an insufferable bitch, but she never commented on my weight again. I think part of her suspected me, but she was too cowardly to confront me. I felt guilty for putting her in the hospital, of course. But my plan had gone perfectly. You see, I had bought those pills knowing very well that they contain tapeworm eggs. I had planted them in Donna's food, knowing the nasty creatures would hatch and grow inside her. And I knew Donna would probably blame the food she'd eaten in Mexico, so that I wouldn't get caught. Donna sealed her fate that night. She mocked me in front of Eric, whom, by the way, I'm still dating. Heck, she sealed her fate the first time she ever hurt me. Donna believed she could get away with anything. I proved her wrong, in the most twisted way possible. Take it from me, you do not want to fall victim to a fat girl's revenge.